Hello, hi, how are ya? It is Monday, the 7th of February, and it is a beautiful day here in California. I hope wherever you are right now, it is also a beautiful day for you. Today, I am going to be discussing my reads from last week. I read The Awakening. I also read Letters to a Young Poet, and these were both amazing books. The Awakening was a reread for me. I read this my junior year in high school, and it was one of the only books I ever read for school that I actually enjoyed, with the exception of The Catcher in the Rye, which will be a forever favorite of mine. I've probably read it at least 20 times. I love that book. Anyways, The Awakening is about an Edna Pontellier who is a wife and a mother, and she lives in the South back in the late 1800s, and she does come from money. She has children and a husband and a very nice, comfortable life, but she finds that there is something missing, and it really drives her to question her place in the world and what does freedom mean for a woman, and how to sort of navigate life and figure out, I've done all of these things that I thought were gonna fulfill me, and I still don't feel fulfilled. None of these things filled that hole. So she sort of goes on her own personal awakening. She is at the time in the story, she's 28. She's got a couple kids. I personally right now I'm 29 and have a couple of kids. So this book really hit home for me, more so as an adult than it did for me as a teenager. I definitely recommend this book to anyone with a uterus. I think that you should read this. I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention to the messages in the story when I was younger, but I still think that it's a beautiful story, and I think that it is a must read. So for The Awakening, this will always be a 5-star pick for me. I will read it over and over again. I think that it's sort of a universal message for women in general, and I think that more people should be reading this, especially in today's day and age where we're still debating women's rights issues with people that don't have uteruses. So if you're team woman, read this book. That's all I have to say about that. The second book I read was Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke, and I read this book because another booktuber rants and raves about how amazing it is, and I see it on Bookstagram, and I just had to know what all the fuss was about, and I completely understand. This book is so tiny but it's probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever read. He talks just deeply about transcendence and poetry and art and love and sex, and it's just, it's so good. I just love I love this book. It's just a series of letters between him and Mr. Kappas, who is also a poet. It says Letters to a Young Poet, but Rilke was only 26 when he was writing these letters, and I just sort of can't put it into words enough how amazing it is. It is from the late 1800s, early 1900s, and the best way that I can give you an example of how amazing this book is to read to you one of my favorite sections that I'm looking for now. So he writes to Kappas on the 23rd of April, 1903, from Italy. He writes, "These things cannot be measured by time. A year has no meaning, and 10 years are nothing. To be an artist means not to calculate and count, to grow and ripen like a tree, which does not hurry the flow of its sap and stands at ease in the spring gales without fearing that no summer may follow. It will come. But it comes only to those who are patient, who are simply there in their vast, quiet tranquility, as if eternity lay before them. It is a lesson I learn every day amid hardships I am thankful for. patience is all. That's just a small little portion of this book. Again, it is a very tiny book, but it's so jam-packed of just little beautiful pieces of wisdom like that. And I think that any young creative, whether you're a poet, a writer, an artist, a sculptor, whatever, a piano player, anything, read this book. 5 stars for this one as well. It was just a beautiful week of reads. I had an amazing time reading these books, and I will come back to these time and time again. This is now probably a top 5. Of course, this one as well. And then I'm reading Jane Eyre, which is quickly climbing its way into the top 5 bracket too. So I appreciate everyone who asked me to read classics this month. I am having the best time with it. I'm so excited to read some more and gain some more insights. I think that there are so many beautiful messages in the books from this time period, like the late 1800s, early 1900s, that are really universal messages that seem to have been watered down somehow in the last century or so. So thank you so much for coming and checking out this quick video. I hope that you pick these up. I think that they are terrific reads. If you've read these before, please tell me what you thought about them in the comments down below. And I will be back next week to talk about Jane Eyre. So see you guys then, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.